Hello, welcome to Sunfire Designs. Today I am going to be doing a spiral pour and I am going to be using Art Pro resin and my bubble mold to see how that comes out. So to start off with, I am going to show you all the different things that I'm using. So this right here is some 30 mils of dioxazine purple with just two drops of the purple. And that is this right here. This is Liquitex Carbon Black, and there are 3 drops in here. This is a Liquitex Copper. It's iridescent rich copper, and there are 3 drops in here, just enough to add a little shimmer. I don't want it to be too heavy. And then lastly, but not leastly, I have my white, which has 2 drops of Let's Resin Ocean White. And then I also have some clear in this cup and some clear in this cup. So I had 35 mils of clear in this cup. I had 40 mils of resin in the white cup, 30 mils in the black cup and the purple cup each, and then 15 mils in the copper. So just a little bit of copper. And then I have what's left is my clear push. So we shall get started. All right, I'm going to start off by pouring the clear into the mold. I did recently add a small layer of, oh my gosh, my brain just died, of silicone to the bottom of this mold, just to kind of eliminate, there were a couple spots that bubbles were catching on that could end up being a little rough. So to eliminate that, I poured just a very, very thin layer of silicone and let it cure on the bottom. And I did that with another mold I have, and it really, really helped so that I don't get rough edges on the very top. It looks, to me, it looks a lot better. All right, so now I'm going to do the black, and I'm gonna take the black, and this is the spiral pour, so everything's gonna get poured in spirals. So I'm gonna start off with the black. And I have found that this works best in a deeper mold that's maybe not quite as wide. So I think this would work really well in the rock edge mold by pouring your heart out. And it's worked in a couple of my molds. I haven't tried it on a ton of molds. This is the 3rd mold that I've tried it in. I did try it in one other mold that was not as deep, and I didn't quite get the results I wanted, but I'm still working on it. This is still brand new. I haven't poured it that many times. There we go. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the purple. I love this color purple. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to try to have the same amount on each, on each side that you're doing. So you don't want one side to be super heavy purple, because then it just kind of does weird things. Your center won't end up being even if you do that. And I kind of like, because of the black, it makes the purple even darker, because you have the white that makes the purple lighter. So between the black and the white, it kind of evens out the purple a little bit. So it's not super light, but it's also not super dark. Okay. Almost done. There we go. Now I'm going to do the copper, and this will just add just a mild, very mild shimmer to it, hopefully, if we're even able to see it at all. I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not. It should be very subtle. And I'm just going to make spirals with this as well. This one you can actually see the spirals a little better. So hopefully that will help you kind of see what I'm doing. This is exactly the same thing I'm doing for each of these. There we go. It looks so pretty already. I get so excited watching this. The reason the deep mold works so well is because it gives the white a room to sink down, and then what it does is it goes down at the outside edges, and then it comes in underneath. And that's how you get the ring of white in the center, is by it doing that. All right, now the white, and I'll explain it with my hands a little better in a sec. So now I'm gonna do the same thing with the white. Sorry I'm so quiet today. I just don't really have anything to fill the conversation with. Been working on this stuff a lot. So I've got a lot of videos in the queue, which is kind of fun because it means if I have to miss a day or something, which I have recently had to miss a day of pouring, which I hate doing because I love to pour every day, but if I have to miss it, at least I know I've got material still coming out. This looks like a rose. I think it kind of looks like a rose. I think it looks cool. I'm just taking my time and trying to get it even and having the white not be super thick lines, but also not like itty bitty teeny lines. There we go, almost done. Almost. Come on, come on, finish up. I think this should be it. Yep, right there. Okay, now last thing is I'm gonna pour in my push, and then I've got, if I can find it, I have black and copper for the center. Because the copper will go no matter what, even if it doesn't show up, it'll still go. So I'm just gonna pour my push in slowly and keep an eye on the edges of my mold to make sure that I don't overflow. This mold does take 200 mils, so I should be able to fill it up without it overflowing. Oh yeah, it's gonna be easy peasy. Actually, it was taking more than 200 mils before, but because I added that silicone to the bottom, it made it come out to be more like 200. I probably still could fit a little bit in, to be honest, but 200 works for me. All right, so now I'm gonna put my center in. Okay, there we go. that in there, poke it down. You can see how deep the mold is. When I have to poke it down, my stick goes very far. All right, so now I'm gonna torch, if I can find my torch. And I'll probably torch a few more times. But what's gonna happen is, so the top white is moving in, but the white around the outside, for some reason, it comes down and under like this. So even if it looks like it's not closing on the top part, don't worry about it, because it does. What happens is it moves in, and I think like right here, it ends up sinking down and then moving towards the middle. Don't ask me how it works. Resin can be kind of a mystery sometimes, but that's what happens. Every time I've thought that, oh, I messed up, it's not gonna close, and then I look in a little while later through this clear spot, I can see the white moving in, and it takes about an hour. I did let my resin sit for 15 minutes, by the way, before I started, just because it's chilly in my house. But it takes about an hour for it to finish moving. Usually I would be like, oh, everything's done, da 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 da, move on. But it does take about an hour for it to finish moving around. All right, I'm not gonna do a time lapse after all, because it's pretty much closed. It'll move a little bit more, but not anything that you'll really be able to see from the top. It's all gonna be underneath. So there we go. I will see you when it's time to unmold in the morning.